I remembered. Yay. Okay. All right, we're recording. Hello, Erin. I like to have people introduce themselves, so introduce yourself, please.
Erin Rue. I am the founder of the Beer CPA, an accounting firm that focuses on brewery, cider, and wine.
Okay, that sounds really exciting and glamorous. So,
I don't know if I would say it's exciting and glamorous, but it definitely has its perks.
Okay, so let's start with how long have you been a CPA, and what is it that you love about being a CPA, first of all?
So I started at a CPA firm in 2008.
Okay.
I convinced some guy to hire me with no experience while I was still doing my accounting schoolwork. So thankfully he said yes.
Yay.
I worked for them about 5 years and then decided to go out on my own and kind of do my own thing and see if I could make it work. And so far it's been pretty good.
Okay. Now, how did you decide to focus on the craft beer and spirits niche? You said you started out when you went on your own. Did you know that this is where you were going to focus, or was that something that unfolded?
I kind of knew. So I had taken this course through Thrival CPAs about owning your own firm. And one of the exercises we had was to kind of imagine if you were to niche in something, what that would be. And so my make-believe was to do it for wine, initially just wine.
Okay.
And when I decided to go out on my own, and I was talking to my husband, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Crap. And I was like, you know what? Let's just take that exercise and run with it and make it work. And eventually wine, and got to cider, which got to beer, and now it's almost all beer.
So you phased out a lot of the wine.
I phased out wine. It's just they don't need, the smaller wineries don't need as much help. Beer is really great because there's a higher turnover all the time. So.
Okay, so you saw that there was more of a need. So was that sort of, that was something you just sort of learned in the process of doing?
Yeah, exactly. So it was about almost 2 years in, and I did a complete rebrand. All accountants, and I'm sure anybody who's watching this knows, it's always like Erin Rue CPA LLC or Jones and Smith Certified Public Accountants. Like, it's so boring.
Right.
So my original branding was all Erin Rue CPA. And it was really generic, and there was nothing super special about it. And so almost 2 years in, I did a complete rebrand, brand new website, new logo, new apparel, new everything, and really just focused right on beer.
Now, was that part of your own passion for craft beers? Was that a part of influencing this decision?
A little bit, yeah. I figured if I'm already going to these breweries and wineries and cideries, that I might as well get paid to be there too.
Right.
So now I get to write off some of that expense.
What has been the biggest reward that obviously your business grown and thriving, but aside from the business success, what's been the personal, the best part for you since the rebrand and this focus?
I really like what I do. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, I have to go do accounting. I have to go to these breweries and, oh, it's work. And I just really like what I do. I like the people that I'm working with. The culture of beer is just really chilled out and relaxed. And so I'm very fortunate that I get to wear jeans and sweatshirts to work every day. And, I don't have to go to a real office if I don't want to. So that's been really the most rewarding part.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about your clients. How would a small brewery know, like maybe they're having some other symptom and they don't realize that what they need is a CPA like you to come in and help them? What kind of things would they be going through in their business that would be indicators that they need to get in touch with you?
A lot of them are overwhelmed.
Okay.
So, small business owners, we try to do as much as we can on our own, and then we tend to get overwhelmed. And what will happen is their bookkeeping and financial aspect will start to take a backseat to everything else. You don't have to update your accounting in order to make beer. So That's one thing that they'll find. Another thing is that they'll start wondering where their money went. Like cash might be tight. They won't have a way to understand like what's happening, to evaluate that. So it just kind of comes down to education. So when they get to that part, that's when they call.
So basically, it's like a business is growing essentially, but they're not having the cash flow they would expect to have from the level of sales that they're making, and they can't figure out where the money is. They need a CPA to come in and help them straighten out the books.
They need to straighten out the books and just have someone. Sometimes it's just holding like the person's hand through that growth process, because there's a little period in there where money is super tight and things are really stressful, and they just need to know that somebody else is feeling their pain, and it's just holding the hand through that and just helping them understand like ratios and how to understand their reports and all that kind of information.
Now, how does that fit in with how you package your services? What kind of service offerings do you have to address a brewery or some sort of, craft, alcoholic beverage type organization, where they don't necessarily don't want to hire a full-time CPA to like be in their office every day? How is your business set up to help service them?
That's a really great question. So my service, you've done this before. My service offerings range from the super, super basic, where I'll just go in. All of my clients, I should say the majority of my clients, have to be on some sort of cloud-based accounting system.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I can just go in, update all your stuff. It'll only take, a little bit of time, but all of my packages are flat rate price. So they pay for the month for like a end result, not necessarily for the task performed.
Okay. Now that's very important. How did you come to that particular way of doing, rather than like packaging by hours, to package in terms of outcome?
So when you charge by the hour, your client wants everything done quickly and cheaply, and you want everything to take longer so you can make more money, right? Mm-hmm. So you're at two opposing ends of that spectrum. Right. So flat rate pricing, just saying, here's what you're going to pay, and here's what the end result will be. Your reports or your tax forms filed or whatever, or your payroll ran or whatever that is. But here's what you're going to pay for that end result, regardless of how long it takes me. So if it takes me 5 minutes or if it takes me, 5 hours, I get paid the same, but the client gets the same result.
Okay. I'm tweeting about this as we're talking, so just keep going.
So it kind of puts you on the same, like you both want to win and you both want the client to succeed. And so it puts you on the same page. Okay. So you're not opposing forces.
Now, did you have some difficult conversations to get past that point? Because I would think that that's the fear, that the business owner may be feeling some sort of apprehension about the way the pricing would work or something like that, and not know how to have that conversation. Do you find that eliminates the conversation, or does that make it easier to have?
So, because billable hours have always been around, and that's how everybody thinks that CPAs and lawyers, really, that's how we all bill.
Right.
It's just an education conversation in that first initial meeting. So I have it on the website so they can read it, and then we have the initial conversation. How exactly does this work? And it takes a little bit of getting used to. First, everybody wants to talk about everything in terms of time. Mm-hmm. But once they realize that they can call or email or pop into my office, and I'm not billing them in 6-minute increments, that's when they really start going, oh, there's a lot of value to this, so that I can call and ask questions, and it might take 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but I'm not getting billed for it. It's all part of that package. So they feel more taken care of. Okay.
So that's a very customer-centric way of operating. So mm-hmm. that must be part of how your brand is known and defined. Do you find that to be true?
That's what I'm hoping. Right. It's true. Yeah.
Well, I think
it's coming across us. That's what it seems when I have conversations with people about it. That's what once they wrap their head around that I'm not going to charge them every time I talk to them. Right. That's when they start going, oh, oh, it's about me. It's not about like you making money. It's about me getting what I need and feeling happy about that.
Right. Okay. Because I did a blog post about going to see Star Wars and some things that, just made it a less than wonderful experience. And so in my little vent blog post, one of the things that I mentioned is that there is no customer service for that industry. When you go to see a movie, the person that owns the movie theater or whatever, the manager, doesn't care if you like the movie or not, doesn't care how you leave feeling. And that's a real opportunity. That's an advantage that a small company has over a really big company, is that you have that direct access and almost immediate opportunity to engage with somebody and clear up anything before it even becomes a problem. Would you agree with that? I see you're not.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, so there are firms that will not bill by the hour, but they'll have, 200 or 300 or 400 clients. Right. I intentionally keep my client base very small, like 12 clients. I don't want to have so many that I don't know what they're doing and who they are, or feel like I don't have time to stop in and have a beer with them. So hopefully that customer service aspect really comes into play, where they feel they know me well enough as a person to come to me when they're unhappy, and I feel okay about coming to them and saying, hey, things seem a little like it's not working, so let's fix that.
Right. Now, that hits on something that I think is kind of interesting with regard to the nature of those relationships and what that means for growth for a small business. You said you intentionally keep your client base manageable. How has that made you look at growth for your business differently than, it used to be that all small businesses were aspiring to be the next Walmart or whatever in their industry. And that's not really the thing that we're seeing anymore. Small businesses don't aspire to build their businesses modeled after large corporations. Can you speak a little bit about what that means in terms of growth to you?
It means that I'm not going to be one of those people with, well, most likely, I'm going to put the disclaimer on that. I most likely will not be the CPA with like a team of staff accountants who you only speak to them and you rarely speak to me. And that's probably not ever how it's going to be. But it also means that if I have a small client base, that my prices have to be a little bit higher, because I still want to, make money. Everybody goes into business to make money. And it means that the value I'm delivering for those higher prices has to be really good. Right. Like, people have to see the value of that. But I'm also shifting more from one-on-one client relationships to like a one-to-many relationship. So more webinars, more live trainings, more e-products, that type of stuff. So I can still serve people that need help that maybe can't afford or don't need one-on-one services.
So that is an interesting shift in growth and growth strategies, is going more toward sort of automated products. Is that what you would say?
Yeah. And I think you're going to see it a lot more in the knowledge worker industry. You're going to see more people move one-to-many model versus one-on-one. Because if you try to stay small, if you try to stay pretty manageable like I am, like, you only have so much capacity in a day, in a week to serve clients before you start bringing on, staff, and then you have to pay those people. They need to get paid too. Right. So then you're raising prices or you're bringing on more people. And so you just have to, it's a fine line, I think.
It sounds like you really are describing a boutique CPA firm. But you don't really hear that particular description. So what people are paying for is a premium brand, really, a premium CPA brand. And do you think about yourself as defining what that is, going in now and going into the future? Do you think about, is that conscious?
That would be a big step to say that I'm helping define that. I am trying to build a brand in a firm that works for me, for the lifestyle I want to create in the future, to bring people into like my little world and help me build that, so we can have like a little concierge type service almost.
Right. And that sounds very boutique-y and high end, Erin.
I'm going to have to move somewhere move somewhere with lots of money and a little No, I think it's just if people can learn from that and build their own type of firm that works for them. More than anything, I just want people, what they learn from me, I want it to be like you can build what you want to build and you can make it work. And here are some tools that I use, may or may not work for you, but it's possible.
Okay. Now you mentioned some of the other products that you've developed and are developing, will be rolling out. Can you talk a little bit about that, like what you have coming out for 2016?
So for 2016, I'll have an ebook coming out at the end of January.
Coffee, sorry.
Yeah, I got mine here. It's still early here. So for 2016, I'll have an ebook that comes out end of January. It's going to be like 20 to 30 pages, I think, once my copywriter gets a hold of it and make it better than all technical sounding like me. And it's going to be more like a workbook. There's going to be checklists and reflections and stuff to do to take your business from when you're just starting, when you just have an idea, to actually getting it in production and implemented.
Ah, okay.
That being.
So that's an accounting workbook?
Yeah, it's going to talk about things about like how to select a CPA, like what type of questions you need to ask. And I'll be working with some other people for other industries like lawyers and insurance and all that kind of stuff. And and then it's going to be, okay, so now you've selected your team and you're getting your stuff set up. Now what's the next step you need to take? So you need to choose an accounting system. You need to work on your process. You need to select a team. You need to so we're going to kind of build out this workbook. That's not going to be super intense. It's going to be bite-sized manageable pieces, but it helps give people the right steps. Because everybody, when you first go into business, you're like, crap, now what? What do I do now? So it'll help give them that step, and then they can input and build upon whatever they want to do then based on their own industry.
Okay. And what about your calendar of events? Like, where will you be appearing, and what kind of things do you have planned as far as events that you'll be attending, or even presenting or speaking engagements?
So I'll be speaking at CiderCon in Portland the first week of February 4th. So I'll be speaking and attending that conference. I'll be at the Craft Brewers Conference, of course, in Philadelphia at the beginning of May. And I'll be at the Craft Beverage Expo in Oakland at the end of May.
Okay.
And then I'll be at Inbound, which I think now just got changed to November. But I was so jealous of all the people that went to Inbound last year. All of that really great knowledge, and now I want it, so I signed up, so I'll be there.
Oh, okay. Now, when you get closer to any of those events, you will be tweeting them out and letting everybody know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I love Twitter. I'm a big Twitter user.
Well, at me, hit me on those, and I'll make sure I retweet them for sure. And maybe I can get to come to some events. I don't think I've been to one of the craft alcohol events, but I recently got exposed to, I could think it was some local moonshine, some infused moonshine that were used to reinterpret. I had a blackberry margarita that was to die for, and a lemonade sipper that was very, very good. That was very impressive. It was really good. It was a rosemary simple syrup with lemonade and some sort of moonshine. And I was
nice.
It was very delicious. And the blackberry margarita was a blackberry infused moonshine. And I was like, wow, they're doing very fancy, amazing things with moonshine now.
There is some of that moonshine is, especially down in the South, there's. Yeah.
So I'm interested to go and check out some things in Oregon and Seattle. So I'm interested in checking out some things there. Do you where's your favorite, I guess, region? Do you have a favorite region in terms of beverages or events?
Well, so I'm really fortunate. I'm in Hood River, so I'm only an hour out of downtown Portland.
Oh, lucky you.
So I get Portland, and then Seattle is a short drive, and that's, I really don't have to venture far to get really good beer, to get really good cider. The gorge itself is really, that's where I'm at, is the Columbia Gorge. The gorge is really good for wine, but I'm only an 11-hour drive from Napa.
Wow.
So
Okay. I'm so jealous.
Well, you can come out here and I'll show you around and take you to some.
I definitely will be, because I've been thinking of moving that area. So I want to come and spend like some time and check out different areas. So we'll definitely take you up on that.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate that I get the exposure I get out here to the things that I love.
Really? Now, do you have a mailing list or anything like that? Can we like tell people, give everybody your web address so that they can go and sign up for your mailing list and stay on top of what's going on?
So it's super easy. It's thebeercpa.com.
Okay.
And all you have to do is go to the site and there'll be a little pop-up, a really inconspicuous, not in your face pop-up on the lower right-hand side that will allow you to sign up for the mailing list and stay in touch. And I like to reward my email subscribers with special little subscriber-only offers. So that's one of the perks of signing up for the email list.
Okay, so there we go, everybody. There's a reason to sign up. I'll go sign up too, just so I can stay on top of and stay in touch with you and know what you're doing.
That'd be great.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I will be doing a blog post featuring this video down the road. So anybody that didn't see this, of course, can see it later. Is there anything else you want to tell everybody as we close this out?
I don't think so. Thanks for watching. Thanks for inviting me to do this. This was super fun. It was my first lab, so I'm really excited.
Let's do it again when your book comes out. When you're done with your book, come back and let's do another one, and we'll talk about what that experience was like of putting that together, because I'm sure that will be an adventure.
It will be it'll be the first ebook I've done, so we'll see what kind of pitfalls and bumps and success.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate you doing this. And thank you, everybody, for watching now and in the future. And everybody have a great day. Bye.
Bye.